Good afternoon, Duck fans, and welcome to the first ever Stevens Coach's Corner. I'm joined today by head baseball coach John Crane. Coach, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Rob.
Thanks
for
joining us. I appreciate it on a day you're playing today. Last season, we'll start with that. You guys, an 11-win improvement from 2008. I guess what were some of the reasons for that? That turnaround, and how are we going to carry that over to 2010?
I think the biggest thing from 08 to 09 was just experience. I mean, most of the guys we played in 08 were freshmen and sophomores, and even the sophomores, it was their first year starting, getting a lot of regular time. So experience was the biggest factor for us, and with that comes confidence. So they're a talented group. Like I said, they have a lot of experience, and they should have a lot of confidence to build on. So I think we're looking this year to take that next step. Everybody's anticipating winning the Empire 8, certainly competing for it. The past few years has been a pretty big gap between Ithaca and everybody else. Certainly, I think St. John Fisher is going to be the top teams this year as well, along with RIT. We were kind of jumbled second through fourth there, pretty close knit there. So, but Ithaca is still the class of the league. But our goal this year is to try to catch them. And we open with them conference weekend, first weekend in April. So, it's important for us to get off to a good start there.
Season's underway, 7 games in, 3-4 start. It is very early, ton of baseball left. What are you guys doing well? What do we need to improve upon?
Our defense and pitching, that's what we try to build it around, certainly. Our pitching's been really solid so far. Joe and Kenny have done a great job with they've got the majority of the starts thus far. And Tyler Corder, who's a freshman, also has done a nice job for us. Then the bullpen with Vinny Vinci and Kyle Hannes and some other young guys like Mark Poinsett. They've done a nice job for us as well. T.J. Griffin, who's a returning guy, has pitched well for us too. I think the big thing we need to improve upon is our offense at this point. We're just struggling scoring runs. I feel like we're swinging the bats well and having good at-bats. They're just not falling for us. We're making really good contact, hitting right at people. So as long as we keep working the count and putting good at-bats together, I think that'll change, and hopefully it starts for us today.
One of the guys that is swinging a pretty good bat, Russ Grimes, couple home runs, hit a team-high school record, 8 last year. Talk a little bit about him with the stick and what you've been seeing.
He's really, right now, anchoring our offense. He's probably our hottest hitter. He's producing runs every chance he gets with guys on base. His development as a hitter has been interesting. He was a leadoff guy for us in 07, didn't play in 08, and then I think it took him about a half a year last year to get back in the swing of things, so to speak. And really took off in the second half of the year. Again, tied the school record for home runs. They had a big home run in the Rutgers-Newark game in the ECACs to win that in extra innings for us. So he's picking up right where he left off. He's a pretty mature hitter. He does a great job making adjustments from a bat to a bat. He can look bad on a breaking ball, one at bat, and in 2 games this year he's done that and come back the next at bat and drove in runs for us. So he's off to a great start for us. And we expect him to continue that throughout the season.
You brought him up for a minute earlier. Joe Fenora, Ken Mirandonk, kind of the aces, definitely the aces of the staff. What have they been doing well? And both have had a couple good outings. What have they been doing well? What do they need to keep doing to be successful?
Well, they're basically 1 and 1A. I think it's kind of tough picking between the two of them who's the ace of the staff. They're both pretty comparable. They both throw a lot of strikes. They both eat up a lot of innings. They both change speeds really well, and they're both fierce competitors. So we feel like I'm sure everybody in the locker room feels like if we have one of them on the mound, we have a real good shot at winning that day. They're both off to great starts this year, and getting back to throwing strikes. I think combined they have 4 walks in about 26 innings. So they're putting pressure on the other team in terms of making them put the ball in play against them. And Joe led the league in strikeouts last year, and he's already got, I think, 11 or 12 so far this season. So
yeah, 9 in his last outing. He had a very good outing. And coming off a tough loss to a number 6 ranked Kane. Today you play Eastern Connecticut State, typically just one of the absolute powerhouses in Division III, and then also we'll face Ithaca later on down the road, and then Cortland when you're in Florida. Maybe not wins and losses, but what do you look to take out of those games more than just the W or the L on the schedule?
I think the big thing is, we talk about every time we play a good team is, what we can learn ourselves. And a lot of times when you play a better team, it's going to show you what you need to improve upon. The big thing you see when you play those teams is that, if you give them any opportunities, in terms of on defense, extending the, walking guys, hitting guys with pitches, or making an error, especially with 2 outs, they're going to take advantage of that with multiple runs, not just one. They're going to try to break the game open. And, offensively, if we have runners in scoring position, don't score, historically those teams will come back and kick the door in and really break the game open there. So it's a matter of limiting their opportunities and capitalizing on every one that we have. And it's almost like you have to play perfect against them, really. They have that deep a lineup, that tough a pitching staff, and traditionally those teams play good defense too. They're not going to give you a lot of extra opportunities.
Specifically today's matchup, Eastern Connecticut, they're 2-0, outscoring opponents 33-5. What are you looking for your guys to do? I think Joe Fenora is going to get the start.
Right.
What are you looking for him to do? The whole entire, the whole staff, and then the bats against his team.
Well, again, it all starts with pitching and defense. I think the big thing at our place is throwing ground balls. We have a bit of a short porch to right field here. A little extra wind in today would have helped, but looks like we're not going to have that. So, but that'll benefit our hitters too. We have to deal with that as well. So, as long as we make the routine plays, again, we're throwing strikes and make that quality strikes, not just grooving them and letting them tee off as we're hitting our spots. And then offensively, again, getting guys in scoring position, executing, whether it's base hits, sacrifice flies, getting bunts down, doing the little things we need to do to keep it close. And we want to get in their bullpen late in the game and break it open from there. Usually we try to get out to a lead early, build upon that. And then once we get late in the game, after the 6th, 7th inning, we get in the other team's bullpen and break it open. So I don't think it matters who we play. That's our philosophy. It's just going to be tougher against a team like Eastern or Kane.
Yeah. Finally, Coach, today's game's final tune-up, or the final game before spring break trip to Florida. You can't tell the weather's been great here in Jersey the past couple of days. But why Florida? Why do you go? Just talk a little bit about that and what it does for the team.
Obviously, the weather's important down there. We've been outside since January, practicing at 8 o'clock at night, and we're not close to 70 degrees, obviously, at that point. So. The weather's a big plus. You get to play some teams you don't normally see. We have a few teams from Massachusetts down there. Clarkson, who's from upstate New York. Cortland's from upstate New York also. So some teams we don't normally see around here. Team-wise, it's a big team-building thing, too. We stay on the road, obviously, and we put some of the older guys with some of the younger guys that they wouldn't normally hang out with and try to build some team chemistry that way. We'll do some team outings down there, whether it's going to see a movie or miniature golf or something like that. So, in addition to playing, it's building that team chemistry as well while we're there. And we have a tough schedule. We have 4 region games, starting with Cortland, who's right up there with Kane, and Eastern Connecticut is one of the top programs in the country. Clarkson won the Liberty League last year. FDU is one of the top teams in the MAC Freedom. Then we finish up with Rowan, who's one of the top teams in the NJAC. So it's a business trip for us too. We want to, obviously guys want to have a good time down there, but the main thing is going down there and trying to win ball games and get better.
Absolutely. Coach, good luck today. Tough Eastern game. And then, enjoy
Thanks very
Florida.
much, Rob. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Fans, thanks for joining us on the first ever edition of Stevens Coach's Corner. Hopefully you'll join us again soon.